Sup, y'all? Welcome to the next episode of Starting on Cinema. That's cinema with an S. Today I'll be giving you my review on Tyler Perry Gold Jail. Madea Studio Tyler Perry Gold Jail. Before I begin, if you're new to this channel, if you're new to this channel, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, leave a comment on the section below. Most importantly, watch or you face the Diablo. And the same thing goes if you're on Instagram. Don't forget to like if you happen to stumble upon this page. Follow me, whether you hate it or not. And leave a comment on the section below. Let's get started. Alright, I'm breaking it down for you. So after a subsequent high-speed car chase, Tyler Perry wound up behind bars because her quick temper gets the best of her. Meanwhile, Assistant District Attorney Josh Hardaway lands a case that's too personal to handle, that of a young prostitution and former drug addiction named Candace. When Candace winds up in jail, Tyler Perry takes the young girl under her protective wing. Alright, y'all, so the continuation of a moment from Meet the Browns, that scene in Meet the Browns where she was being chased by the police. Madea goes to jail focuses on more than just Madea facing time behind bars. As a matter of fact, she doesn't even get to jail until towards the end of the film. But like I said, these films focus on the subplot of the title, and none of these movies are really self-explanatory, but mostly on what's on the side of that title. Most of the movie focuses on trying to cleanse one of its characters, which leads us to a relatively common struggle. Not that everybody goes through this, but a situation that everybody's aware of. The trouble of finding rehabilitation. Madea's situation of going to jail is nothing new to the audience who have been following this character since Family Reunion, so it would not make for any type of change, just a deeper look at her criminal record. The important issue in the film that may not apply to a particular person watching, and even me, but we still resonate with is the toxic environment of prostitution and sex trafficking. Because Candy and a few other prostitutes on the streets are being used as sex slaves and sexual exploitation. And it's hard to watch a film unfolding this now universal topic of sex trafficking and being out on the streets and having a hard time escaping the addictions and even the accusations towards those who look like they desire such a thing. The two main lead characters on both sides of the story both have encouragement coming from many sides as possible. For Madea, we never expect her to make it out of jail differently or keep herself from going to jail because that is a part of what makes Madea. On Madea's part, she gets backed up by Mr. Brown and Cora Brown as a promise to go back to church, which is just a throwaway line. She doesn't really get some time in jail until we get towards the third act, which is where she meets Candace, or Candy, played by Keshia Knight Pulliam. The other characters in the jailhouse, with the exception of the other prostitute, Donna, offer less supporting roles and just make for the incomparable jail environment. Like a big trans or a psychotic Hispana or a psychotic Latina woman played by Sofia Vergara and the rest. Jail is just crazy. But Candace is the character that we empathize with, and not just because she is a prostitute, but because she has a personal background with the district attorney who's trying very hard to defend her after he could not defend her when she got raped. While Joshua is already engaged with his fellow law partner Linda, it is the moments he has with Candy and the care he pours out to her that show the difference between the relationship he deserves versus the relationship he needs. Like, he deserves a relationship with Linda because he's worked through his life and he's gotten through school to get to deserve a woman like her who's pretty much his speed on that level, like who's well educated, who's getting a job like getting a lawyer and winning cases without really doing the cases. Like, Linda might look and appear compatible on every level with the life choices, the success and the goal and the dreams, but they have different ideologies when it comes to those people. Because, in other words, prostitutes and people who are suffering. Because she's one of those characters she's one of those first class privileged characters who looks down on those who make the poor decisions or who live in a middle class community, kind of like Andrea and the Family That Prays. Despite coming from a background of the projects, she acts like she never grew up in that area. Therefore, she looks down on anybody who makes those decisions, who makes poor decisions, instead of just trying to help. Linda, during those moments with Candy, where she is just feels like Andrea and the Family That Prays, where she's just rude to people who are not in her zone, or just somebody who breathes easier when things are going her way instead. Like when she didn't even fight for that case for Candace. She just tried her for 17 years without giving no reasonable evidence. She tried her for 17 years just because she's a prostitute. You disgust me. We learn just how much effort it will take to rehabilitate somebody who is in need of help, or someone who looks like they are not trying. Like Viola Davis's character, Helen, or Ellen, whatever one it is. She's like a spiritual leader, a spiritual preacher, a subliminal messages, a motivator in the jailhouse who helps little girls get off the streets. And you know what? Whether they want to help themselves or not, she always puts herself at it with the strong black woman that she always is in these types of roles. And sure, she can be held back by the disrespect that Candy gives off, but she's always willing to help, along with Joshua, who wants to get a second chance at helping her as well. Rotten Tomatoes gives it a 29%. 29, I'm about to say 90. No Tyler Perry movies ever got 90. They should, they oughta, but they've never. This is 29% of all critics recommend Madea Goes to Jail. With a balanced dose on the issue of prostitution and sex trafficking and the goal of rehabilitation, Madea Goes to Jail might feel a little more than average at times on the comedic side of the spectrum, but it succeeds with its thematic elements. So I would give it 8.5 SOs out of 10. And that is my review on Madea Goes to Jail. Y'all can let me know what y'all think in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later on my next video.